Welcome back to Your World, a Tuesday now. Relationships. We are continuing a conversation that we started a couple of weeks ago on toxicity in the family and the dynamics of all of that. And those couple of weeks ago, we talked about where it comes from, what it looks like, how to be able to see it, understand it, probably. And today we want to look at how probably it manifests. How does it manifest when you talk about emotionally, when you talk about in terms of behavior, when you talk about in relationships as well, how does it manifest? And definitely talk about the healing bit of things. How do I move on from this space where now we've identified what it looks like, what I've been going through, now we have a name for it. But how do I get myself out of this space? How do I heal? What are the steps to take? That is what we are focusing on today. And the question that we are asking you for this particular segment is, do you think it's possible to rebuild trust after deep hurts? Do you think it's possible to rebuild trust after deep hurt? NTV Kenya on all of our social media platforms. Please indulge us on that and let us know if you've gone through this, if you were part of this conversation a couple of weeks ago and you probably found your way out of it, you're healing through it. How have you been able to do that, and have you been able to rebuild trust after that? And the panel that was here then is back. I'm excited. It's a rare occurrence, but I am happy and honored to have them back in studio. And I'll introduce them starting from my immediate left. And on my immediate left, we have Dr. Naomi Gaitho. Lovely, lovely, lovely to have you back.
Thank you so
I do
much.
not take it for granted, guys. I really don't. She's a counseling psychologist. And next to Daktari, we have Marion Wambui. He's a marriage and family therapist. Lovely to have you back.
Thank you.
Asante sana kwa kurudi tena, kwa kukubali wito. And we have Margaret Kimwaki right next, who shared her story with us last time. It's like, mimi niko hapa kuwaambia what I went through, and I'm here because I am working through it. I'm a survivor of toxicity in the family, and sharing has been vulnerable with us. So we highly appreciate that, Margaret. And last but not least, we have Grace Kariuki, who's a family counselor, who is here to help us also understand the next steps of what happens now. Now what happens? And karibuni sana.
Asante.
Lovely to have you. So we talked about all of that. We talked about, and Margaret shared her story and how it led to the next couple of decisions that she made when she could get a way out of the family setup, and what that meant looking back, staying in a marriage for so long. And we talked about some of the ways that it manifests in our day-to-day life, but we can also expound on it in terms of emotionally what it looks like, when it comes to relationships, what it looks like, and even in terms of behavior, what it looks like if you've come from that space. What are some of the things that you will probably end up behaving in certain ways or reacting in certain ways because of the setup that you've come from? And we'll start with you, Grace.
All right. One of the things that is impacted by toxicity in your family of origin is your ability to attach in secure relationships. So the question that you have asked about trust, that is what is taken away. So one of the things that you will find, it is either you trust too quickly, or you have no boundaries with other people because you need the connection. Or you're going to be the kind of person who doesn't trust people. The moment I see something is not working, I'm running off. Now, your ability to feel safe in relationships becomes compromised because your sense of self was impacted by, so what you do within that family of origin, the chaos there, you learn how to suppress you in order to make the space safe for yourself. So you are trying to create a safety within the toxicity so that you don't have to hurt. And that is where now the theory of attachment comes in, because then we are going to attach ourselves in relationships, whatever relationship, in the future, according to the way that our body was wired to be within that relationship. So either I don't trust love, but I want it. So I am fearfully and anxiously attached. Maybe I have come up to think that I am nothing without relationships, and therefore I am anxiously and preoccupiedly attached. Or I am dismissive, avoidant. Me, it's me against the world.
Yes.
The rest of you, kaeni mbali.
Yeah.
So me, I come in, and then when I think that you are encroaching into my personal space, najiondoa. So to find that safety is now the work of you as an adult. Yeah.
Okay. And listening to all of that, Margaret, what was it like for you? How did it manifest, even as you've gotten into a marriage at a very young age, and now you're stuck in this space for 20 plus years? But what was it? How did it manifest for you? Were you anxiously attached? Were you an avoidant? Did you want to go away but couldn't get yourself out? Was your identity formed because of being in this marriage?
Yeah, may I say that the first thing that got breached was confidence. Yeah, so you go out there, now you're seeking for that, almost like you have to be justified by something that is not even real. And that's how you enter into that trap. What does that mean? Now, like she said, my safe space, I was very overprotective. That is one thing that I learned. You have to fight to get either what you have, and na ikifika kwa mkono, you really want to like cage it. Okay? I caged my emotions, I caged even my children. Somehow I caged them because now I was afraid of any experience out there that I had, that it would actually come back and haunt for them. So basically, there is that person who is not really like 100% of a child who was maybe brought up with security, because now you're sourcing out, you're creating another world that almost does not exist. It is your own personal world. So when it comes to attachment, well, even to the spouse, you can be hyper attached. Okay, regardless of all the toxic things that are happening around, everything was very safe. There is no reasoning. Everything is very good, and you are super attached to that person. And when I look at it today, I see like it can almost choke, because
choke the other person.
Yes, it can actually choke, because you are for me, and we have to be just within that space. And any trigger of like, you might even try to maybe give out your opinion. Hey, I'm defensive. This is what I know. This is my security. So basically, it changes the whole person.
It does.
When I look at it now back, that I'm healed from that journey. Yes, there was an aggression that was not really necessary.
Okay. Okay. And Marion, what about the mental health angle of things when it comes to how it manifests and how we see it? What are some of the possible ways that it shows when it comes to mental health?
Okay. As we said last time, it can show up as depression. It can show up as suicidal thoughts, because somebody now doesn't know what to do with what is happening to them. But also it shows up in behavior that somebody can start like blaming everybody, can start feeling irrelevant, like they don't matter in this world, which now takes them to that mental health of going down, you know. So it's very, very important for one to acknowledge, get to a place of like press pause and start reflecting on one's life. Like, what have I gone through? The way I'm being treated, do I deserve this? Do I like this? And if not, you know, it's important to do something about it. But you can only do something about it if, one, you understand that the family unit is a system. It's a system. There's the husband and wife, that's a spousal system. Then there is the parent and child, that is the parent-child family subsystem. And then there is the sibling to sibling, which is the sibling family subsystem. So you need to like have a bird's eye perspective, where you're here and you're looking at your family down there, and you're also down, you know, you can see yourself there. But then now pluck yourself out of that space and look at those people. How is life? How are they treating you? How is it affecting you, your behavior and your mental health? And what do you want going forward? Because it's only after you differentiate yourself that you take responsibility for healing. You know, you start thinking, okay, this is what I've gone through. This is the family I was born into, and it's fine and it's okay. But there's chaos here. So how am I going to get out of this chaos? Yeah. So once you look at them like that, not to separate, but just to understand, it takes work and it takes willingness to learn. Are you willing to learn about families? Are you willing to learn about family relationships? Are you willing to differentiate yourself and start developing yourself so that at least you can be that one person that is doing something about it? Yeah, because it's a system. Once you start healing, there's possibility of the family will heal.
Okay.
Yeah, pole pole too.
Yeah, because the next thing I was going to ask is how easy or difficult is it to look at family that you love as nyinyi ndio wasi wenye si wapoa ama nyinyi ndio mmenifanyia hivi, you know, looking at them and actually calling them out on that, maybe not calling them out to their faces. I don't know at what point we get to do that, but you know, knowing and seeing them for who they are. How easy or difficult is that? And maybe Dr. you can chime in on that.
Thank you. It is really tough. It is not easy. And one thing I have come to realize is that most of the toxic people are the nearest to you. Yep. They are the nearest to you. They could be parents, they could be siblings, they could be children, they could be spouses. They could be even people where you work or in church. And I think at some point, as you grow, it has to do with something that you have that they don't have. So there is a sense of envy. Okay. There's a sense of envy. And so when you are able to see what that relates, then it becomes very hard, because then you have to take step by steps on how to protect yourself. Yeah. Because these are family members and you want to have them with you. You will be going places with them. You have family meetings. You have no other people apart from these people. You cannot run away from them. Yeah. But now there's this something that we call self-love and respect. Okay. Once you show someone that you love yourself and you respect yourself, they will have to see that. And if they see that, that will make you now start putting boundaries. Okay. Boundaries is the first thing that will help you. Because if somebody sees that I've put boundaries here, and these boundaries have also to do with your values that you will have to protect. Because you will show them that I, as Dr. Naomi, I believe in values of respect, values of love, values of trust, you know, and I would not want them to be violated. Yeah. Have that ability to say no. Yeah? You are my siblings, you are my parents, but for this, it's a no. Yeah. It's a no. I will not take this, and I will also not take disrespect. Yeah. If you don't respect me, then we are not going to be in the same. Yeah. We are not going to dance the same tune. No. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that need of showing them that you respect yourself, showing them that you have values, and now sticking very strict to your boundaries. Okay. Your boundaries are like a paycheck. If you cannot give someone an empty paycheck to go and withdraw money from your bank, why will they cross your boundaries? Yeah? And so you have to be really strict. Okay. You have to be really strict on your boundaries. Then you remember that these toxic people, they have no empathy. Yeah. So you have to guard your emotional resilience. And you have to have people who are, you know, resilience allies, who will walk with you, who will help you. Because some of them are there are many, maybe they are 10 against 1. Yeah. Yeah? What do you do? Yeah. You still need them. You still want to invite them to your party. You want them, you know, their kids want you to have you, you know. But you see now, you have to be careful with your boundary and be extremely strict, that they know. For here, with Naomi, this one, I'm not going to joke with it, so I have to know how to, that one we don't, that's a no-go zone. Yeah, you have to be strict.
All right.
And so even you, again, you're also going to respect theirs, so that at least it's a two-way thing. Yeah, it's not just you, and you don't have again to be so, you know, selfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love the trajectory of the conversation because now we've seen how it's manifests in some ways, and I also like that, Marion, you gave us the perspective of just stepping away and just looking in and being able to see it, name it, call it what it is. And now that, I think that takes us to now, what do we do? Because now we've seen it, we've named it, and now I know I do not want to be party to that, or I want to set up boundaries like Daktari said. And what are some of the first steps, maybe practical steps for anyone who's in it right now wondering, how do I handle this? Where do I even go from here? Because I respect my parents, it's my siblings, pengine, and all of that, and I can't probably have this conversation with them. And we'll get to the point where, is it necessary or not necessary to have that conversation with them, Grace?
Now, because we are created to be communal,
yes,
we can't survive without spaces where we connect with people.
Yes.
The first step, really, is to create a safe community around you. Now, for me, my safe community was church. So when I created that safe community where I thrived in terms of my giftings, in terms of my faith, in terms of what I am able to do, then I was able now to see myself. And it's something that that Marion has mentioned. We call it differentiating yourself. So you become an individual. You are a member of a family, however you are an individual. And so your personality, your values are very different. Yes. In fact, they are values that all of you are taught in the home, either explicitly or by watching, that you don't agree with. But you see, you cannot go, because especially our parents, they are very, and I'm a parent, so I'm talking from experience, we are very protective of the values that we hold. Yes. And it is hard for us to see our children going against those values. Okay. And so if you can separate yourself by creating a community that is going to affirm who you are, because they don't know your past.
No.
They just meet you and they just know Grace, the one who sings so well in church, or Grace, the one who teaches the Sunday school. And so they start to celebrate who you are. So you cannot heal from your family of origin if you don't create a community where you will feel valued and loved. And those communities, the natural communities like those, yes, are usually places of worship,
yes,
and also where you go to college. Because if you think about it, when we leave Form 4, that's when we become young adults. And where do we go? We go to college. So create a safe community for yourself in these natural spaces. If you go to work, the same thing. So that you focus more on people who celebrate you, yeah, rather than the people who trigger your unhealed trauma, and you feel trauma bonding with them.
Yes.
Because our brain usually kind of stays with the familiar.
Yeah.
So if you say something to me that is familiar,
yeah,
I become super focused on you.
Yes.
And the Grace, who is so kind to me and loving me and not judging me and criticizing me, yeah, I diminish that because I am used to the negative. And so I want to encourage each one of us, look at your life and ask yourself, have you been able, because that's something you can do, that's your choice.
Yes.
Have you been able to create a safe community so that if you create that safe community, what Daktari has just said about boundaries, values, and all that will be very easy, because 90% of your time you're spending with these people,
yes,
who they are not. It's a natural developmental stage, because you don't live at home.
No,
you live by yourself.
Yes.
But now, because of this safe community you have created, then you can handle the stress of home, but from a distance.
It has to be very intentional as well,
yes,
because you have seen it and
yes,
you know that you don't want that.
Yes.
So what you do then is create that space for yourself to find you, heal you, even before you go back to building the boundaries with them.
Yes.
It's coming from a place of I know what I want.
Yeah.
And I am not cutting you off.
Right.
I'm just saying I will not be party to this and that and the other. We're going to take a very, very quick break and then come back to pay our bills and hear from the rest. And the question that we are asking you today on this Relationship Tuesday is, do you think it is possible to rebuild trust after deep hurt? Do you think it's possible to rebuild trust after deep hurt? We will be getting some of your feedback after the break. NTV Kenya on all of our social media platforms. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Your World Relationship Tuesday. We're continuing a conversation that we started a couple of weeks ago on toxicity in the family, but today we focus on how it manifests and how to heal from toxicity in the family setup. And it's quite a sensitive conversation because most of the times we hold family as that sacred place. So now having to tear it apart and call it what it is quite difficult sometimes. And I love that we've talked about how it manifests, how we see it in different spheres of our lives. We've talked about having an angle, bird's eye view, seeing them for who they are and naming it, creating your boundaries, and also creating a safe space for yourself as a young adult. When you've just stepped out of the family setup, that's the perfect time for you to do that, to create a safe space for yourself where you can find you. And then now, Marion, you had something else to add on to that, what we had from Grace.
Yes.
It's true that church can be a very safe space.
Yeah.
But we need to remind ourselves that sometimes the safe space is not in the churches. And I remember she talked about spirituality, being very careful about the religions that we do. I'm sure she'll share that with us.
Yes.
About why it's important to be careful about some of those spaces. And we know why. We, as a country, we've seen people have gone there.
Taken advantage of in those spaces.
Taken advantage of. They have died.
Yeah.
So it's important to establish whether that church that you're going to, whether the people are receiving you because they care about you or they really value you, or what they have hidden agendas, you know.
Yes.
The other thing is that safety also needs to start with you in that home. How safe are you in that home? Because healing cannot come when, for example, you're still going through the abuse in the family. So you also need to establish a safe space in the home. It can be a safe corner or something, or you disappearing sometimes, but it's safe enough to still stay if you must stay. But if it is very abusive, and we know what has happened, like some people, you know, I remember a case where a lady, her eyes were gouged out by the husband, you know. Recently, there was a case of a husband who killed a wife and killed the daughter, you know. So there are so many of those cases happening. So is it safe for you to be there, or do you need to get to a rescue center, get out of that environment so that you can be safe enough to start working on you, you know? Those considerations need to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I like that you mentioned how it starts from within sometimes, even as you go, because, and just to tie it down to what Margaret shared, what she thought was safety then, it was anything that is better than what is at home. Probably sometimes is we haven't figured out what safe looks and feels like. So being able to find what that is before you get into the hands of somebody else who probably will take advantage of you. And even in colleges, people will take advantage of you there. The world is not safe as it is. So yeah, I see what you mean. And Margaret, maybe for you, what was it like when you were able to name it, shame it, walk away from it, call it what it is? And it happened probably later in life when you had the guts and the energy to do all of that.
Yeah. Well, let me say it was self-realization that this is not even fit for any human being.
Okay.
So it was those moments of you start shedding off, okay? You know, like those ego moments, you start shedding off. You pluck out every feather. In this case, every manipulation that was happening around, the brainwashing, the comfort zone that wasn't. And actually, it was a tough moment, but I sat with myself and I called myself a boardroom in this head and I said, hey, Margaret, it's time.
Yeah.
You either die here or you die trying out there.
Yeah.
So I called myself, I reconciled myself, but of course there was some backup. I remember sharing with a friend who actually now connected me to Grace. Grace remains a big icon in my life because she shared some things and I was just like, what? You mean all these? I've been taking it for granted and it is actually wearing and tearing me down. And when I went home after the first session with Grace, I remember resitting and now seeing what was actually hidden. Because in this scenario here by now, remember this torture was from childhood to this adult. And everything was just okay. Everything is beautified. An insult is okay. A beating is okay. So this is one person who is telling you now, this is not okay. And actually, you have to face yourself. So when I went down and sat down myself, and I was just like, Margaret, you have to start small, but surely you have to let go. Remember, this was an attachment. Now I had to learn how to detach. That was the hardest thing in my life, detaching from everything that I thought was normal. I was reshaping myself and it was a painful moment, but with resilience, one step at a time. Sometimes I would actually now fall back. I'm out of it, but now the whole thing now come back to me. But again, I come out. So I developed some adaptation skills.
Okay.
I had to, you know, even though it's bad, wake up. Face the day. Even though you feel like you don't want to face the day, wake up, Margaret, from this thing. You have to separate yourself. You're not stupid. You're not careless. You just found yourself there. And somehow, because all these people, like you said, the abusers, they have some stamina. They never wear out.
They never relent.
They actually,
always going.
yes. It's like a fuel thing.
Yes.
Once you're not a victim, they rush to another.
Yes.
Another non-suspecting victim. So I was ready to lose too much apart from my children. That's the only thing that actually now was also a big motivation package. I had to stay strong for those people. So definitely someone who is out there who is feeling like it's all gone and you have nowhere to start. Yes, depression is real. You can actually go there, but there are people who will help you out to get out of that. Yes. That's a safe space that actually Grace was trying to say, maybe the church.
Yeah.
And to be funny enough, for me, the church was not the place. With reasons, because I was that person in that place for so long, and my family was actually in that church for so long. So when the messes were happening, the person, especially the one now maybe who destroyed what I had not seen, was actually now poisoning a person after a person after a person. Oh, so they are breaking down every network that you have.
Yeah.
Okay? So I somehow withdrew and built a cage and a boundary that somehow, even as Daktari is saying, I was now selfish because now I tried to canvas that boundary. No, I'm not letting you, because I have experienced a nervous breakdown, which almost took my life. I have faced death situations. I've actually woken from places where the doctors said, hey, na wewe, kweli uko na maisha ya kuishi. You know, after all those life-threatening positions, I was really like, I have to actually keep a boundary. And up to date, let me say the boundary has really helped me, because number one, the manipulators can come with all the icing in the cake and you can easily fall for it. So I've refused to be a prey to those predators. Okay, because they know, and they know, some of them, they are even just drawing what you have, the emotional part of you, the joy you give them just by speaking. Some of them, it's not even material. Just being seen with them, just talking to them, just they are vampires. They actually suck your life out. Okay, so with all that said and done, it has been a journey, and despite the few things, because I'm not yet there, but I'm still getting there, and that rose from the ruins. Like I was telling you, I have done books, and that's one of the books that I've done, and sooner or later it will be in a hard copy, but it's still available, where people can actually know, no matter the being trampled on, no matter how much you have fallen, please don't take that suicide thing. Don't kill yourself. Rush out to this marriage therapist. Rush out to people who actually know better. You know, because again, you can be access wrong people at that particular time, because you're very vulnerable. Yes. So keep a network. Go with your heart. your head, sorry, because most of the decisions that I was making then was the heart.
The heart.
Yes, the emotions were just running, and I was just submerging, and anything beautifying was okay.
Yeah.
So go with your head.
Okay.
Take time to listen to yourself, evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
Like for instance, that child who was very young, because again the issue of firstborns was touched. I'm a firstborn. At an early age, life was much better when I stayed with particular setup of a family. Okay. Now my mom immigrates somewhere else, and I'm this stepdaughter, and it came with a whole package of another problem. So, you know, move with yourself, evaluate that child. That child who was happy is whom I'm hunting to date. And trust me, I'm ready to get hold of that child.
Yes.
Because they still exist in me.
Absolutely. Yes. I love to hear that. And I know I'd seen Grace, you had your hand up, just to chime onto that. And even as you do that, just to tie into this, and maybe you can yongelelea kidogo, relearning healthy habits, because it's also, you can learn to be toxic for so long that you become the person that is sambaratishaing everything and everyone around you. So as you...
So one of the things, as I was talking about creating safe communities for yourself, legal. As you listen to Margaret talking about you know, being in that space where you're kind of confused. Should I leave? Should I? The loss of this attachment and this safe place you have created for yourself is huge. So nothing is going to, the need for that safety that you know is bigger than the danger that comes every now and then. You see? So you live for the peaceful times, and when the chaos come, you are not able, you go into dissociation. So you're not able to really get yourself to get out. So one of the things we have to understand, when it comes to family violence, we have moved from this is maneno ya nyumbani
to songe nayo.
We need to understand that a physical assault is a crime.
It is.
And one of the things that Margaret and I had to work on is when now I had to say, wewe umezoea, you are used to the chaos, but really your children deserve something different. And we decided to go to the authorities. But this time, because she had done that a couple of times, and you know how our legal system sometimes can victimize the victim. But this time, it didn't. And there was a break. So there was now there was another community that came in to support her and her children, and to be able to create a boundary in order for her to see that there is a legal document that says this man is not allowed into anywhere near the children. You see, but you see now she's the mother. That means by extension anywhere near you. And so that was another safe thing that they put together there. Now I do know that we do have people who are not in the space of Margaret, but they are living with childhood trauma, and their lives may be okay. They don't have an abusive spouse, but they have a lot of mental and psychological struggle, and that is where now we are saying that you need to reparent your inner child. What does that look like? Whatever it is that your mother, your father was not able to give to you, please find a way to give to yourself. Because the more you wait for them to fix it, the more you're going to stay in that space of a kind of toxic cycle where you can't, it's almost like you have no power. But I'm here to tell you, you have a lot of it. And your inner child keeps showing up every time you get triggered by anybody who does something that is familiar to what you experience. And I want to say to us, our parents, they were wounded as well. So they are carrying their own woundedness, and therefore if you expect them to be any different, then that means that you will never heal. So taking personal responsibility, like you said, catch it and then check it. How do you do that? When the moment you feel that somebody has triggered you, that is when you catch it and you say, I need to sit down and figure out what is this about, and that is when you are checking it. Take some time instead of blaming anybody else. Those are your emotions.
Yes.
And you are the one who was hurt.
Yeah.
They may not see that hurt, but you know. So don't reject your inner child when they say, hey, I'm over here and I have been reminded how much pain we have. What can we do now? And that is where now we work and we walk with a therapist so that they can help us uncover that and then be able to start the journey of healing.
Absolutely. And Dr. Harry, maybe we can talk about, because I see our time is really flying, the forgiveness bit of things. Apo tunakwamanga. Tumeshai name, tumeifanya kila kitu, but then when it comes to forgiveness and moving forward, what are some of the ways that we can actually do this successfully somehow?
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
The Bible always say that we cannot forgive enough. And for that matter, some people take advantage of that. And you see, with forgiveness, it has, for me, I believe forgiveness has to come with some change. If I forgive you, please, I need to see you have changed something. You have stopped doing whatever you are doing to me that is making me feel bad. And by the time you reach forgiveness, you have worked on yourself, because forgiveness is actually for yourself, not for the other person.
We forget.
Yeah. It is not for the other person.
I want closure. Nataka niambie pole ndio nisikie vizuri.
And so,
but that's a lie.
It is a big lie, because if you forgive that person, you give yourself some inner peace. You get some inner peace, and you empower yourself in terms of having sort of an emotional shield. Then you try to be calm, so that you don't be forgiving every other minute. Be calm and sort of, you know, with those boundaries. When you're calm, you're confident and unshakable, the person you forgave will not joke around with you. They will say, she's forgiving, and now she has also put her boundaries, so I don't need to really interfere with her. Be responsible of your own emotions, because if somebody will hurt you each and every other time, this is a really toxic person, and for sure he will not change. So you will expect this person to hurt you again, no matter how many times you forgive them, because as we said, they have no empathy. A person who has no empathy doesn't believe in forgiveness, or they want forgiveness for their own good. So it's a matter of being forgive, and then you walk away and told unapologetically. Be unapologetic. Because I have done my bit. Even you now, you can do your bit as well. And if you don't take that, then too bad. I have to safeguard my own emotions. I need to move forward. I need to know the kind of people I need, you know, like they drain your energy. So when they drain your energy, the people you want to relate to are the people that matters, that are worth your energy. Then you also limit the interactions. When you limit interactions with them, then there is no time for keeping forgiving and unforgiving and all that. Because you don't have time to keep, you don't have time to keep interacting with them. And if you have to, silence is the best weapon. When you show someone, you talk, you do, me, I'm just silent. But you know you are working with your inner self. You know your worth. Find your worth and stick to it and protect it. And so tell these people that if you just want me to forgive you, and you still continuing with the same cycle, then it will not going to work. I'll do detachment as well. I'll detach from you. In all man, I'll make myself busy. So that I don't have time to keep interacting with people who are draining my energy and my emotions. No, you don't do that. You do that.
I see that, and hopefully we get the strength for everyone who's in there to be able to do that. But Mary, what is the importance or the significance of being able to have these conversations or heal separately? Be like, nimekuja kukwambia daddy, mami, mlinifanya hivi na sikupendelelea. Ama the reason I am the way I am is because this and this. Because for them, probably everything they ever did was for good. Nilikutandika hivyo ndio upate A. Angalia venye umekuwa successful in life. But then that is the only angle they see. There's so much more to that. How important is it if it's possible? Is it possible in every situation as well?
That's a good question. It may not be possible in every situation, but where it is possible, try.
Okay.
Have these conversations with the family members, because one, they may never know that they hurt you because you've kept it to yourself. Secondly, when you voice it, you're expressing yourself. You're giving yourself permission, and you're taking courage to go say, hey, you know what? There's an issue that disturbs me about the way you relate to me. And then name it, you know. And they might become very defensive, which is fine, because that's how they respond. But you, as opposed to reacting to them when they do things, anger and whatever else, you learn how to respond. So there's reacting, which is the aggression, the anger, the abuses. Maybe you become like them. They are mean to you, you're mean to them. Choose to respond differently. Choose to just love them anyway. Because it's hard. It's very hard. And you can't love unless you have the love of God in your heart. You can't, because some of the things they have done, even we can't start discussing now. They are so painful. They are so dehumanizing. But can you get to a place of asking God to help you to just love them anyway? Appreciate, you're my brother, you're my sister, you're my mother, you're my father. I don't have a choice. Yes, I don't have to interact with you so much, but I'll still love you. And one of the ways that we can show love is by starting these conversations in the family, so that somebody can have a chance to relook and say, oh, I hurt you, how, you know? And that opens a whole, you know, window for them to talk, and it creates self-awareness for the person, as much as you are also progressing in your own self-awareness. So once there is self-awareness in the family, you will find even those who may have been hurtful to you may apologize. They can just come out and say, oh, I didn't realize, oh, when I was doing this, this is how you saw it. And then I'm like, I would also like you to explain to me, how did you see it yourself? Let's talk about what I'm seeing, what you're seeing, my perspective, your perspective. I respect your perspective, respect mine. Respect the context under which this is happening, and let's get talking. But keeping quiet and assuming, this is what I will do, or this is why this person is treating me like this because they hate me. It takes me back to what I said about understanding that family of origin. Go back, do your own history. What was the name of my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother on my father's side? How did they live? How did they behave? You know? So then how is my grandfather on that side of the family? And my grandmother? How is my father? How is my mother? So how do I fit in? You remember that perspective?
Yes.
How do I fit into all these? Are there familiar patterns that are being repeated? You know, that there was abuse with my grandfather, there was this, mental health issues, there was suicide in the family and all that. Understand your family, from your father's side, from your mother's side. Once you understand, start having these conversations and decide, am I carrying forward the negative energy, or am I going to change?
Absolutely. I love that we've covered all of that, and I hope that we can take this into action, like whoever is tuned in. And we have a bit of feedback on Facebook. I'll try and read that before we come to the end. But I'd like to give this opportunity to my panelists, just probably a call to action, a parting shot as well, as we come to the end of this conversation, probably a minute each. I know they say 3, but we are 4. They can give us 4 minutes, it's fine. A Grace.
Now, for people who are into self-improvement, write a letter to your parents. Each one of them. Number 1, what they did well. Number 2, what they did to hurt you. Number 3, what you wish you would have done different. And number 4, the triggers right now. And then number 5, talk about you letting go of that pain. This is what we call sharing with them compassion and empathy. Yes. And that will come if you do what Marion has said.
Yeah.
Check your family histories, look for the patterns, and then understand where your mother or your father were coming from. That is a personal letter. You don't have to send it anywhere. Keep it and keep referring to it. And what will happen over time, you will see it will start with the raw, and then keep reading it and creating more and more empathy towards your parents. And eventually you will find that you start to let go the deep feelings of bitterness.
Okay, thank you so much for that. A practical thing to do. Margaret, your parting shot?
To our viewers out there, it's never too late for change. And as long as you have breath, you can actually make it. Where there is life, there is hope. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Mariam?
Okay. Love your family members, regardless of how much pain they may have caused you. Just forgive them, let go, and overcome evil by being good. Just continue being good and kind. Keep your boundaries, your distance for your safety, but just be kind to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 wrongs will make a right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Viewers, gain emotional resilience and inner peace. Master the power of silence. Keep boundaries and know that don't put it to yourself. It is not personal. Don't let it be personal.
Yeah.
Mind your wellness and your mindfulness.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Marion. Thank you, Dr. Naomi. And thank you for tuning in. And I'm just going to read a bit of feedback from Facebook. The question is, do you think it's possible to rebuild trust after deep hurt? From the panelists, I think it is possible. It's possible, right? It is possible. Lakini hapa kwa Facebook, Joanne Fundi anasema, save yourself from a ditch, move on. Anna May Karaoke say, no, trust is gained in slow drops but lost in large buckets. Mudhoni Elizabeth says, maybe, maybe not. Either way, time will tell. Neshak Daniel, I don't think so. You trust ukirudi, utakuwa tu rebound roho safi. So Guta Savage says, iyo ni noma. Eri kumove on kwa comfort ambayo iko secure, yani iko na peace. It's very, very difficult. Flora Kiprop. Grace Cash says only when apart and moved on. Okay. A broken glass can't be fixed. Accept it's broken, dead and gone. Cracks will be visible all along. I hope you have learned something from this conversation because it can be rebuilt. But then it also starts from within. I see we have a bit of feedback on our WhatsApp. Hello, Mary. Good morning. Thanks for the show. I am fortunate to move here. Watching from Uganda. Okay, from chaos to clarity. Thank you for today's show. My regards to all the panelists. Almost committed suicide last night. I'm glad I tuned in. I'm a bit relieved, though I still need help. Maybe we can get one of our counselors to get in touch with you. We'll get your number. Hello. Great conversations right there. Thank you for the wonderful insights. Kindly assist me with the contacts for Grace, the family counselor. Thank you so much. We'll do that on our WhatsApp. I am the author of the East African bestseller Agush Nyang. You can Google it. It's gone viral worldwide and it's available on a major global retailers like Amazon, Google, Playbook, Barnes & Noble, etc. You can see it here. You can sample a few pages. I would appreciate a chance to talk about it on your platforms or be featured in your social platforms or any kind of support. Thank you very much. We will get in touch with you as well. Santeni Sana for tuning in and writing to us. We will share the numbers that have been asked on WhatsApp as well. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have an amazing day. Adios.